Okay, who remembers the church fast in January? How many of you guys got something awesome out of it? Okay, me too. So while I was fasting, I wanted to do a couple days beyond what I did, the first day. And I was asking the Lord, like, what's something specific that I should fast that's like, I really need to fast it. And he said, coffee. And I said, no, I'm not fasting coffee. And that's, you get that check on the inside that was like, ooh, that was the wrong answer. So I fasted coffee. And the first day was like, all right, the first day is okay because you're like, I got this, I can do this. And then the second day I was being really mean. And I was tired and I was grumpy. And I kept snapping at people in my house, right? No other coffee addicts in the room? No, okay. So I decided I needed a little more help. So I got on Google and I typed in scripture verses to help me not drink coffee. Yeah, that's exactly what I typed in because I was like, I don't know. Like Hebrews, right? People in the Bible love coffee. But the scripture verse that popped up was Psalm 16:5. And it says, Lord, you are my portion, my cup of blessing. You hold my future. So I wrote it down, taped it by my desk, and I said that over and over and over again, every single moment of the day. And when somebody was irritating me, like this handsome man up here, I would say, Lord, you are my portion and my cup of blessing. Yeah. And it dawned on me in this experience how often we can make something else our portion to get us through the day. Like a cup of coffee in the morning. And then that second cup of coffee right before your day starts. And then that cup of coffee at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon when you start to feel really, really tired. Sometimes that cup of coffee right after dinner because you need it still. Yeah, and it could be different for everybody what you need to get you through the day. But these things usually are like distracting us from life instead of propelling us through life and relying on God and trusting God and getting what we need from Him. So that was my revelation for that. I was so excited about it. I was telling everybody about my coffee fast and still holding on to that scripture. And then let's fast forward a week, and we were deciding what we were believing for this year. And we decided we were going to believe God for a house this year because we have like a lot of kids. And our house is great, but it's small. And we've been there for a long time, and we rent. So we were like, we want a house. And I was a little bit more hesitant because let's look at all the facts. Let's look at the budget. Let's look at the history. And in my mind, I was like, how are we going to buy a house this year? I don't see that happening. And Michael, being the man that he is like, well, what are you going to believe God for? And it struck me that I was just afraid. I was afraid to just take that leap and trust God for what we really wanted because I wanted to look at the facts. So the next day I was making a vision board for things that we want in a house and like a lot of land for all of our kids to run and dogs and chickens and, the dream. And I Googled scripture verses for buying land and a house. And guess which scripture verse popped up? Psalm 16:5 and 6. And I was like, that is not about buying a house. Because I already know what it says. It says, Lord, you are my portion and my cup of blessing. You hold my future. The land you have given me is a pleasant land. What a wonderful inheritance. See how God had given me the first part of that verse the week earlier when I needed to have a heart adjustment. I needed to reset my eyes on the Lord and make sure that He was in the right position in my heart before He could then give me the second half of the promise, which was the promise for what we were believing for, but I couldn't hold on to that promise until the first one was in place. I had to adjust the posture of my heart towards God. And when you do that, and what he's capable of doing in your life, not what all the facts say. You do that in your goals and in your dreams and in your finances and every area, and you're faithful to him, and you keep him in the position that he needs to be in, then you're in a really good place to watch him work and to fulfill those miracles.